Hello everyone, how are you? Welcome to another reading, and this is for the solar eclipse. And I've been telling you that I want to do a solar eclipse reading. I want to ask the universe to show us a path for future for next 6 months, because this is the lunar eclipse was quite powerful, and I did a reading for the lunar eclipse and posted few days back. The lunar eclipse was on 26th of May, and the solar eclipse is on 10th of June. So it was quite powerful. The combined reading is will be even more powerful. So if you have already watched that video, I would request you to watch it, because both of them together will manifest in next 6 months in some or other way for each one of you, and there are a lot of messages for each one of you, so at least in the lunar eclipse. And let's see what messages come for us in the solar eclipse reading. So I'm going to do a 21 card reading like the one I did for lunar eclipse, and let's pick 21 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. 8, 9. Okay, so right at the center is the disruption card, which is saying that there would be sudden changes around 10th June or in the following week. It would be lot of changes, and you have been waiting for these changes. The good news is that these are unexpected changes, but you were wanting for some kind of change, and you have given hopes, and but this change will come now, and it was destined to happen at this time, and it was destined to happen this way, which will have both repercussions on your spiritual side and on your material side. So I'm going to talk about both spiritual and material side, but even getting into the details of spiritual and material side, first of all, I see that you will get a lot of power during the next 6 months. You will be recognized, but then the good news is that whatever the power and recognition brings, the negativity is somehow getting balanced in a certain way, because of the planetary alignments are such that you are quite aware and evolved now, or the past experiences have made you so knowledgeable that you don't want the ego to come into the equation. Once you become little more powerful in next 6 months, you really don't want the ego to come in, and the planetary situations are such that you anyhow are going to act in a very balanced way with all the knowledge that you have acquired from your experiences in the past. On the other hand, I see that the planetary alignments also are going to bless you in next 6 months, a very strong foundation where you can plan a lot of things about your future, and you will get a lot of success. There's a lot of change in your financial world, in the material world, and there are a lot of things that you will have to work upon. So that is on the material side. Let's start with the material side right now. A big financial change coming on your way. If you are quite a successful person who really earns thousands and thousands of dollars almost every day, if you're earning, then you really need to slow down and work on your strategy. But on the other way around, if you're struggling with your financial situation, the cards are saying that the time of heartbreak and loss is over. Now you need to reflect upon your problems and try to find a certain kind of place in your heart where you can actually find the source of these problems. We all go through different circumstances, and we hit the financial lows, and we go through problems. And what I mean to say here is that it blocks your heart, it blocks your ability to trust on yourself, it blocks the ability to trust on the opportunities that are coming on your way. So what the cards are suggesting, that let go of your past experiences and open up to possibilities, because I see that you would be in a position of power to change things, and your fears will actually hold you back from changing a lot of things in your material world in next 6 months. And the planetary alignments will be constantly pulling a lot of opportunities from the thin air and placing it in front of you. And because of your past fears and your own inability to trust yourself, you will constantly push those opportunities away, and that's where the issues will begin, and you will stop manifesting things. But on the other way around, if you start showing a lot of self-confidence, almost like you are the master of your universe and you can create your own fortune, no matter what happened in the past, but right now you are really in the place where you can create your own fortune without any failure. If you have that kind of confidence, or if you develop that kind of confidence, you will definitely generate a lot of financial wealth for you in next 6 months. And don't worry, because maybe in past you did that and you destroyed it with your own stupidity because you were inexperienced how to handle success. But this time around, the cards are very much saying, with these two cards here, the power and the balance card here, the cards are very much saying that now you are experienced to handle success. Now you are experienced to understand what is right and what is wrong, and not to make your own troubles. That's what the cards are suggesting here. What they're saying is that you need to be very quick in letting go of your past, because the the quicker you are in letting go of your past, the easier it is to bring big financial changes. What I'm saying is that there are a lot of memories of many heartbreaks that you had in the past, and they are creating a lot of blockages for you, a lot of fear element, emotional imbalances can be only be treated by you by putting yourself in isolation and listening to some kind of podcast from a guru or some kind of spiritual master on losing your past or losing your negative energy. So there are a lot of meditations and podcasts about that on various platforms. So that's the best way you can handle it. And then what the cards are suggesting here is that with a lot of self-determination, you can open up your heart to possibilities, and this has to be done very quickly. It cannot happen in a slow way, because you are standing on a very fertile ground to change things, and you are at the end of a place where your misery ends and your power starts. You are at that place, and the super divine is helping you to start a new cycle where you cannot enter carrying the burden of your fears. That's what the cards are telling here. Coming on to the spiritual side, as I said, you are standing on a very firm, fertile ground, and you are getting pulled by your shadow to one level, but then you need to let go of that shadow so that the sun shines bright on you, and then you can create a new life out of it. So somewhere you need to very quickly find a way to connect with the divine. And for some of you it would be through spiritual masters, for some of you it would be a guru on YouTube whom you like, and for some of you it is just sitting uh, in a comfortable situation with your eyes closed and imagining as if you are talking to the universe, or you're talking to the god, you're talking to Shiva, you are talking to Allah, you are talking to Christ, whoever you believe in, and talk to them in a very conscious way that they are all equal. All these names that I have just picked up, like universe, Shiva, Christ, or Allah, they all are same and equal and are coming from the same source. With that recognition, and not to think about what others may feel and what others are doing and how they connect with their spiritual masters, don't worry about that. It's their journey and their way of handling things. You need to ground yourself and you need to find your spiritual way of connecting with the divine. So each one of you is unique and very different and has a very different way of connecting with your spiritual master. So that realization will come to you in next 6 months. So stop comparing with you. Sometimes it happens that your friend would connect with one way of finding spirituality, and he or she might be little more successful than you in spiritually grounding themselves, and you would like to copy them, their technique, and it will shatter you because that's not the way you function, right? So try it in your own way, in your own space, and don't try to mix it up with someone else unless and until you have a really strong calling for it. So having said that, on the spiritual front, I also see that you will have lot of opportunities to bend energies in your favor, and possibly you'll have a lot of access to Akashic records. The only thing is that you need to access those Akashic records from a perspective that show me what is important, don't show me everything. Show me what I'm supposed to know right now so that I can reach my soul's contract, so that I can fulfill my soul's contract. I really don't want to know anything else. Show me only that. If you go with that kind of awareness, you will be comfortable in reading those Akashic records, because otherwise it would be a big burden on your head. And don't worry how you read it, or it will be shown to you in some way, and it will, maybe a song will remain in your subconscious mind, or maybe a movie scene, or maybe a dream will come to you and you'll dream it again and again, something like that, or a pattern will repeat in your life. So the Akashic records can be shown to you in different ways. But the most important thing is a sudden change coming on your path in next 6 months, very unexpected one, and you have been waiting for that for very long, which is bringing a lot of strong foundation for you, a lot of happy and good planetary situations. And you may challenge me on that, because the transits according to your particular ascendant, as described by any astrologer on YouTube, would say that this is the toughest transit. It might be a very tough transit in general for mundane astrology. No astrologer has access to your individual horoscope. So those who are watching these videos, at least there would be at least 50 to 100 or maybe 200 people who watch this video. Those people will have a certain kind of alignment in their chart, in their personal chart, that the transit, whichever way it happens, however good or bad they may be, generally they are quite powerful to bring stability in your life. Remember that in next 6 months, don't worry about transits a lot, unless until someone is talking about a particular transit, putting your horoscope in the center space and reading it. If they're generally talking about some kind of transit, don't worry about it. That there's a reason why you are listening to this from me, and there's a reason why you have reached to this video, because you were supposed to know this. So beyond this, I'm getting a lot of messages, but I don't feel that those are quite let me see if there's something more that is very important. Spoken about the past, clearing your past. I've spoken about balance. I've spoken about success. Yeah, if you are already quite successful, slow down. And what else? Yeah, the crown chakra is bringing a lot of attention to in that direction. It says that you should look for more clarifiers for the crown chakra. So crown. So there's a lot of fear, that's what they're saying, about connecting with the divine, and there's a lot of misunderstanding about connecting with the divine. You have restricted yourself that connection with divine for me cannot happen because I'm so sinful, or I'm so bad, or I'm so low level being. You have a lot of fears, or maybe if you connect with the divine, you won't be able to handle it. That's a kind of fear that you have. And what they're saying is that don't worry, try it. Maybe it would be not a easy path, but you still have to try that path. That's what they're saying. So that's your reading for the solar eclipse. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until next time, bye bye and namaste.